Hello, my name is Brian Simmons and I'm the owner of Diamond Lures. What I'd like to do today is take a look at tube fishing and the various rigs that are out there, and we're going to illustrate and show you how to rig these things in your tubes. Now, I like tube fishing. I've written some articles about it. It's one of my favorite techniques, and so I've got we offer quite a variety of different styles of tube heads, primarily catering to largemouth and smallmouth anglers here in the Midwest, Lake Erie and those types of fisheries. But again, this is universal concepts, and they'll work all over the country. So what I'd like to do is show you a little bit the styles of rigs that we make. This is a standard tapered tube head, and this particular one is poured on a 5/16 ounce, and it's poured on a 4/0 Mustad Crimson hook. It's red, of course, and you know, red hooks were the craze for a while, but it seems to be kind of going away, but they're still effective, I think, in some applications. But this is a very simple tube rig. You simply take your tube and separate the tails a little bit, give yourself some room, and slide this tube right up inside the, or slide the head right up inside the tube. Now, there's a number of different ways to do it. You can put it all the way to the nose and poke it through and tie it on, or you can do some different tricks, like sticking a cotton ball in the nose, soaking it with scent. Another trick that I found that works quite well is to take this simple rig and just poke the eye right through the wall about halfway up, just like that. Instead of way in the nose, it's going to be about halfway. That will give you a more horizontal fall instead of a more of a nose down twirling fall. This is more of a gliding look, a gliding approach, and you'll get a little bit of a shake on the way down. So this is a pretty effective way to rig it also. This is pretty standards here. Okay, so a standard taper tube head. Another application that we use, this is our own Insider series of hooks. This is poured on a Mustad EWG 28 degree. This is primarily for larger tubes. 3.5 would probably be about the smallest size you could use. But you simply take this, the same operation, just slide it right up in the nose. The beauty of this particular design is that the hook eye is going to come out the nose of the tube, almost eye forward rather than straight up through the wall. Okay, so this is going to give you a completely different fall than what you'd see with the standard 90 tube. But again, this is with an EWG hook. You've got plenty of hooking power here. This is a pretty effective rig also. This is a big fish bait here. We also offer a line of rattling tube jigs. And again, these are poured on 60 degree Mustad Ultra Point hooks in 4/0. And the rattle is, as you can hear, it's quite loud. And the rattle is molded directly to the head. Simply the same process. You just slide it up into the tube and then poke it out through the wall and then tie it to your line. As you can hear, you got quite a bit of noise associated with that. I like rattling tube jigs, especially in a little off-stained water maybe. The fish just seem to hammer this, even in clear water. I think that noise does something and wakes them up. I've had a lot of success with rattling tube jigs. And again, we use Mustad Ultra Points in all of our jigs. This is the same rattling tube jig, only with an EWG Mustad hook. Now, it'll fish the same way as this one, but it'll give you a little bit more hook set on the with the EWG hook. And once the fish gets pinned up on that EWG, it's hard for them to throw it. Some people will disagree with me there, but I've had great success with them. And again, these are pretty loud rattles, if you can hear that. Okay. Now, another concept that we use is a weedless tube jig head. This has a wire weed guard that's molded directly into the lead. And people have been experimenting with different methods of rigging tubes weedless, and we'll show you a couple different options here. But this is a thin wire weedless head that's molded right into the lead. And to load this up, there's a couple of different ways, but I found the most effective way is to take this weed guard, bend it straight back. Don't worry, it won't come out of there. It's molded way back into that lead. Okay, you can see you can move it around pretty good and it doesn't come out. That's one of the things I've experienced with some of the jig heads out there, so we're very careful to make sure that that doesn't happen. Then simply slide the wire in first, ahead of the head like that, poke it straight out through the wall, work your head. It helps to put a little spit or maybe a little bit of lubricant on that head. It'll slide up in the plastic easier. Poke the eye through and then come out and lay your wire down just like that. Now you can adjust this wire to any angle of the hook. It's entirely up to you. Again, it's a stainless wire, and it's pretty durable, and it's not going to come out of that lead for you. So this is what that rig looks like. If you can see that, you've got some weedless opportunity here with that wire weed guard. It works quite well. We also make that in smaller versions too. This particular one is an 1/8 ounce with a 3/0 Mustad 60-degree eye. We can also make them with 90-degree eyes. If you visit our tapered tube page on our website, you'll be able to take a look at the different options that we offer. Now here's another option for fishing weedless, and this bait may look familiar to some people. This is our own BS head, we call it. This is a Gamakatsu, and this is quite a simple bait to fish also. And this is when you're more of a Texas rig. This, if you can see this, the hook, the kink in the shank right there, and that's to lay your plastic up in there. You just simply Texas rig this thing, okay, and then come back and just bury that hook right inside the plastic. This also works quite well with larger plastics, not necessarily just tubes, but craws and things of that nature, and you'll be able to Tex-pose that hook. So this gives you some different options for rigging tubes. Tube fishing is deadly effective year-round, and try it, give it a try, get some confidence in it. You can fish it anywhere in the water column, from the surface down to the bottom and anywhere in between. There's a ton of different tips and techniques out there for fishing tubes. Check out our blog, which is a link to the blog is right on the front page of our website. The blog is www.diamondlures.com/bass review. And we take a look at a lot of different topics regarding bass fishing in that blog. So